Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical. We're here in the project and we are building my dream shop basically. So what we got going on right now is we're mixing cement, making concrete. We've got a little bit of stuff going on as far as the ratio of sand to gravel to cement. So we've got all the three components here, and then water. Obviously, as you can imagine, doing it the old-fashioned way, like we're doing it with a shovel and on the ground, is challenging at times, but we're tweaking the ratio. Right now, what we're using, what we've come up with, first we were doing two layers. We were doing a layer of heavy gravel cement or concrete, heavy gravel concrete, and then a top layer of fine concrete with only very fine gravel and sand, and then trying to get a polished look and then polishing it on top of that. But it was incredibly time consuming, and I'll show you the difference in the slabs. What we've done now is we've just gone with a very light gravel load. Okay, so what we've got here basically is one mix. Instead of using a heavier mix on the bottom and a lighter mix on the top, what we're doing is one mix, and it's just a little lighter on the gravel. So I'll take you here, show you what we're doing. We're actually loading up the mix right here in this pile, and then here's an example of a pile that's being finished up, right? So and then at this point, a guy will come up here with a wheelbarrow and take a load, and then take the load, and I'll show you how we're dumping it. So now what we've got here is loading up a wheelbarrow with the finished product. We've got the mix ratio that we want. We've confirmed that it's what we want, and now we're gonna load it up. We're doing wheelbarrows and also 5-gallon buckets as well. So we'll follow along with this guy as he dumps, and then I'll show you the rest of the process. So what we've got going on here basically is 1/4-inch mesh, or basically rebar mesh. I guess it would be like a grid pattern. On this side back here, we did these first 4 little squares, and we did a little bit differently with rebar, actual welded rebar every foot that was 1/2-inch rebar, really actually a little bit less than 1/2 inch. I believe it was 3/8 inch actual, what they call 3/8 metric here, which is actually measures out to 3/8 of an inch thick. And we welded it 1 foot cross patterns throughout, and then poured the concrete with the 2 different levels like what we talked about, and it came out cool. And I'll take you over here and show you kind of how it came out. This part right here, we did furthermore actually polished it with powder and water, pure Portland cement powder and water, and then polished it. The problem we ran into was, for one person, the one guy that we have here who's able to actually do the polishing work, he was working for 12 hours the day that we poured it, and we just ran out of time. So that was a little bit of an issue. And so we had to do a little bit of a different deal here. But one thing that I am implementing into this project is these pins. And these are actually pieces of 1 meter or 1 yard long stainless steel, something like a lag bolt, okay? And the reason I'm using stainless steel is because metal and rebar, as it's inside of the concrete, is fine. It won't rust, right? It's the concrete, the alkalinity in the concrete actually rust proofs any kind of a metal that you have more than, let's say, 1 inch deep into the concrete. But when you leave something extended out of the concrete, then what it can do is create what we call concrete cancer tumors. It can start rusting near the surface of the concrete, and then the concrete will chip and fall apart. So what we're using here is stainless steel pins. And then I'm going to use these pins to attach the machinery and equipment for security reasons and for safety reasons, so everything's bolted to the floor, literally. Okay, so that's what we're doing those pins for. And then what we are doing differently here is, instead of rebar, we're now using this it's actually welded rebar mesh, but it comes from the factory like that. So it's time saving and a little bit cheaper as well. And instead of 1 foot squares, it's got 4-inch squares. So the strength is about the same, because the rebar I used to weld was twice as thick, but this has twice as much. It comes out to about the same. And now we're doing just one solid layer of a concrete that's a finer mix instead of doing the 2-layer like we did where I'm standing. From there, you can see we actually did all the runners and the floor and all the foundation work, really heavy duty. Every single one of these columns has a giant footer underneath of it, just 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter concrete footer. Just well thought out, and we're doing everything, as you can see in this project, well thought out. So I'm gonna leave you kind of with this little example, and we're gonna be taking you step by step through building my dream shop. Well, where I'm currently working on building it, and in the future, where I'm gonna be making the world's most effective edged weapons and self-defense tools. It's been a lot of hard work to get to this point, really innovating in the tactical community, setting ourselves apart, and being industry leaders is what it took to have the ability to build something like this. And then now with this shop, it's really gonna just be a game changer. I'm gonna be able to take it, one step further and really just set ourselves apart as the only people in the world really making such handmade as well as effective, beautiful art quality, yet the most effective in the world, all in one area, all under the same roof, and made with these hands. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments below. Let me know what you think. Bone out.